Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new Halacha 4 units for Thursday, 7th day of July, which is the first day of Tamuz. Rosh Chodesh, please remember all of your Rosh Chodesh additions. Okay, we're going to continue on in our laws about Torah. And one more law about honoring Torah is that you never turn your back on the Torah if at all possible. Don't turn your back on the Torah. That's one of the ways that we honor the Torah. Now, if the Torah is in its place, like put away in the Aron Kodesh and your back faces the Aron Kodesh, the Holy Ark, that's not as bad. No, it's really just bad if you turn your back totally on the Torah, but if your back happens to be facing the Aron Kodesh, that's not the end of the world. That's why one of the reasons that the rabbi, when he speaks in a shul, he stands in front of the shul at the pulpit. His back is to the Aron Kodesh, to the Holy Ark where the Torah is, and that's considered fine because it's set in its place and put away in the Aron Kodesh. Also, the Rav's speech gives honor to the Torah, so that certainly helps, of course, also. Nobody could say that he's dishonoring the Torah. He's standing there teaching Torah to the people, so that also helps make it okay. Same thing is true, by the way, with the Kohanim when they stand up there to do Birkas Kohanim, or what some people call Duchaning. Duchan means platform. So when they go up to the platform to say Birkas Kohanim, so they also have their back turned on the Aron Kodesh, but that's again considered proper. It's put away in its place. During the Haftorah, you sometimes will see the Haftorah reader stand to the side of the table, and the reason he's doing that is because he doesn't want his back facing the Torah, because there's a person right behind him holding the Torah, or the person with the Torah could scoot to the side a little bit. Either way, but just set it up such that the back of the person saying the Haftorah is not facing the Torah. At Hakafos, where a lot of people are in a circle dancing with Torahs, so the guy in front of the guy behind him, he has his back on the Torah that the guy behind him is holding, but that's fine, because that's the way we dance at Hakafos, and there's nothing you could do. We wouldn't have people facing back to back. It would be too awkward and everything, so that's fine. That's how you dance with Torahs. God forbid if a person drops a Torah, you have heard the famous thing that he fasts for 40 days. It is true that fasting is involved. Not everyone says that it's 40 days. More commonly, people say a day or something like that. And if the person is weak and he won't be able to, he can ask his rabbi what to do. Some say that giving charity instead of the fast would be considered okay. But 40 days, although that's what everyone says, that's not so commonly often listed in halacha. A one-day fast is what's more commonly listed. You probably never heard this, but some say that as an added thing, the person who, God forbid, dropped it should later do a hagbah to re-honor the Torah by holding the Torah up. Those who see the Torah fall, you've probably heard people say that they have to fast too, and you've probably heard people say 40 days. Well, that's really argued about whether they have to fast at all. They weren't the one who dropped it, they just witnessed it. So they too would have to ask a shaila. If it ever happens, God forbid, it's most appropriate to ask the rabbi in the shul what he believes the whole congregation should do as a tikkun, as a way of fixing what has happened in their congregation. That would be most appropriate. If it falls inside of the Aron Kodesh in the Holy Ark, no fast is necessary for that. That's not considered quite as bad. It is still in its Aron Kodesh. It didn't fall on the floor. And if it did come to the floor of the Aron Kodesh, we don't really consider that like the floor. Ladies who see a Torah fall, God forbid, don't have to fast. So it says in the Sefer called Tuv Chayabiu that this fasting idea that we've been saying is to the men, and that the ladies won't have to do this fasting. But again, a rabbi should always be asked what he feels is appropriate for his congregation to do if, God forbid, this happens. Please try everything you can to make sure that it never happens. Have a good Chodesh, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.